Hey up Woodlanders, welcome to day 6 of the Great Big Green Week. If you're a regular to the channel, you'll know that I make barbecue charcoal and biochar. And what I noticed the other day when we did our demonstration at Cork Abbey for the very first day of the Great Big Green Week, there was one thing that really surprised me while I was there, was a common question that kept popping up. And that was, what is barbecue charcoal made of? Initially, I was really quite surprised by the question, but to be fair, when I cast my mind back years and years ago to when we first got married, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have been able to answer that question either. If you ever wondered that particular question, I'm just going to answer it as straightforwardly and simply as possible, and that is that we make our barbecue charcoal from chunks of wood. This is the kind of wood that we use. I tend to use a lot of hazel. Heartwood Woodland group, they tend to use a lot of ash because that's what they work with. Both very similar properties when it comes to making and using on the barbecue. In a nutshell, we've answered your question. But for today's episode of the Great Big Green Week, I just thought I wanted to answer that particular question and share with you the simple answer. It's just lumpwood. So let me just show you this. That is converted branchwood hazel. Used to look like this. Once it's been cooked, it looks like this. It easily fractures, so it's fairly easy to break. It's a sign that it's the good stuff. If you've ever bought charcoal that looks a little bit like a lump of coal or coke, it's sort of pressed or compressed into almost cylindrical balls, you've got to ask yourself, what on earth is this stuff made from? Because that is not lumpwood charcoal. I don't want this video to turn into a big old charcoal rant. We'll save that for another video on another day where we'll go into some depth about charcoal and what you're actually buying. If I can just swap one little thing with you today, and that is try to source your barbecue charcoal from your local maker. There's a list on the following website that gives you where your local charcoal maker would be. And if I can swap just one more bit of information with you, and that would be that around 80 to 90% of barbecue charcoal that's sold in the UK comes from overseas. And the worry there is, charcoal, as of me recording this video, is an unregulated import, which means there's no official body that puts regulations on where the charcoal has come from. So it could come from anywhere in the world and therefore could be from an unsustainable source. So if you're able to, as part of the Great Big Green Week, why not try and source your barbecue charcoal from as locally as you can from an artisan charcoal maker. See you on the next one.